Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Lynn Renee McDonald. Today what I want to talk to you about is the importance of listening to your intuition. I have many stories of times when I didn't listen to my intuition and when I did, okay? And I can tell you firsthand that when I do not listen to my intuition, my life becomes a hot mess, okay? All right, there's a reason you have that guided inner voice, inner hearing, inner knowing, inner feeling, inner seeing, inner smelling. Those are all part of your spiritual gifts, but it's all part of your intuitive gifts. They're all part of the same whole system of love energy within your soul that is designed to help heal, assist, and bring you all the great things in your life, okay? So today what I'm going to talk about is using and working with your intuition, okay? Because that's really everything you should be doing from your heart space, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples of examples of how your intuition works with you. Okay, your intuition, sometimes you will hear things, sometimes you will see things, sometimes you will know things, and you will feel things, and sometimes it will be all of those things. Ultimately, how you feel about it tells you the answer. It's like a double backup, how you feel about it. Okay, so what this means is being governed by your heart is when you use your intuitive gifts, all of your gifts from your heart space, from the highest vibration of love, as we always teach. You know that's what we do, all right, because that's what the world needs to change it, and that is the solution for everyone, everything, and all that is always, okay? So all that said, I'm going to give you some examples because it's super important that you realize you need to listen to your heart before you listen to anybody else, okay? And if let's say, if I tell you something, you're going to feel in your heart if you know that is truth, right? You're going to feel in your heart if you know something is the truth or not by how it feels. If it feels 110% good, then you're going to know it's for you and that you know that it is what? The truth from love energy, because your soul in your heart space is telling you that, okay? All right. So that said, with your intuitive gifts, you pay attention to what is going on, okay? So my mother could tell me things, my friends can tell me things, whatever the problem issue, everybody can tell you things. You can go to a lawyer and get advice. You can go to a doctor and get advice. You can go to a friend and get advice. Anybody or anywhere, we are people. We are social people, right? We're humans, we're social, okay? So, we get advice from each other. We have trustees or trusts, trust money, confidants, you know, people that we trust, you know, with our heart and that we look up to or we admire, okay? But everybody in this reality is subject to their own beliefs, habits, patterns, things, what their soul came into here to do, and we are all individual. This makes your intuitive gifts specific and special for you, okay? So if I love my mother, if my mother tells me I need to get a full-time job and this is what I need to be doing working in the supermarket, and my heart says, yeah, I'm not feeling that, then I shouldn't be doing that. Even though I know my mom's looking out for me and wants the best for me according to her beliefs in this society and from the past that are right here, right now, and that live in her soul, she is telling me something that she has learned and has worked for her, okay, and has been guided for her from her heart, from a different time, from a different space, but she is trying ultimately to help and assist me. Although the truth is, while I love my mom, that may be what's best for her, but it is not what's best for me, not unless I feel it. If I'm feeling the crazy call to work in the supermarket or the crazy call to work as a librarian or anything that I want to be, then I follow my heart, whatever it is, okay? So you have to always follow your heart. That's being in your intuition space. So if I don't feel it when my mom says, you need to get a job at the supermarket or you need to get 5 jobs, you feel in your heart what is best for you. If you don't know, you ask God. You say, okay, God, what is best for me? What is the best thing for me to do? And then you listen. You let go and you listen from love, okay? So you let go, you listen, the answer will come. You don't hear it. You don't think that you can hear it. You ask God that you can, okay? Okay. So I knew in my heart when my mom says, oh, you need to have a union job or a job doing this. That's not for me. And I can love her and say, hey, Mom, thank you for the advice. But ultimately, I have to decide from my heart what is best for me. And if it doesn't feel good, that's part of your intuitive gifts and knowing what is best or not for you. Okay. So, and you must always follow your heart, because if you don't, then you have problems. I remember one time I was doing an event in Georgia, Flat Rock, Georgia, and I decided that it would be a good idea for me to be on the porch because it was kind of raining on and off, and it looked like it was going to pour, and it was just crazy. And my intuitive part of my intuitive gifts is knowing, feeling, seeing, and hearing. And the whole time I'm getting visions, I'm getting talking to me, and God or spirit or love energy is saying to me, Lynn, you need to get off the porch and you need to be down there with everybody. Go down there with everybody. But I was like, but no, my stuff is going to get wet. It's going to get ruined. I don't want to deal with that. So my people space, thinking it knows what's best, right, wouldn't allow me to do that. And I made barely any money all day long because, as crazy as it sounds, nobody was coming up onto the porch, right? So I didn't listen to my intuition, you know, I didn't listen to my gifts, right? So I break down my stuff, go back the next day, right, for the second day of the show. And Spirit says to me, and this is really funny because they talk to me many times, almost all the time, but they talk to me in many different ways, but they talk to me like I talk to you. So it's like having another person kind of like right next to me or inside of me. And that's part of my gifts with love energy or God. And this has been happening to me since I was really little, that I can remember. Okay, so anyways, so what happened is the next day I go to the show and Spirit says to me, like a little bit of sarcasm in there. They're like, hey, go set up out there where we told you. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I know in my heart now, because when I didn't go where they told me to go, I didn't make any money. They were telling me to go down and be with the other readers, the other healers, the other people, instead of being over here by myself and trying to think that I know what is best, right? You know, they told me to listen to them, and they were kind of sarcastic, which is really funny. They were like, hey, who are you going to listen to today? And I'm like, you know who I'm going to listen to. I'm going to listen to God or love energy, because that's what I'm here to teach, and that's what I do. And when I don't, stupid shit like this happens, you know, it's like crazy. So anytime I didn't listen to God, it was always like crazy nuts in the direction that I didn't want things to go. Okay. So this is really how these things work.